I like the character of Eddie Weinbauer really well. I like the character of his friend. I thought he added a lot of comic relief. Some of the other characters I thought fell a little flat, but the main characters made up for it. I also like seeing Ozzy Osbourne in the role that he was playing, even though, like I said, it is nothing like you've ever seen Ozzy before. I mean, he just completely different. And I really like Gene Simmons' character. Of course, he was out of the Kiss makeup, of course. I thought he did a really good job playing the rock DJ. And this is definitely one to pick up if you haven't seen it. If you're a heavy metal fan and a horror fan, which most people that are horror fans are heavy metal fans. I got into, kind of getting off of the movie subject and into music, I got into heavy metal a lot later. Most fans of horror films, it almost overlaps for them. They like the heavy metal and the horror films at the same time, and that's what they grew up with. I was quite a bit delayed. I would say that I didn't really get into heavy metal until probably late in 2008, early 2009, and it's a sad thing to have to admit, but it's the truth. But I really have gained an appreciation for that music, mainly due to some new friends that have kind of introduced me to different types of music, and I've kind of broadened my horizons and things like that. But anyway, this movie is I guess you'd call it a generic release. I think I got it in the $5 bin at Walmart. Thankfully, they do have the $5 bins instead of the shelf, once again, or at least in my Walmart they do. But the first time around when they had the bins, this is where I got this one. And there's not, as you can see, there's not really any extra features on this. And it is the full screen version. And, you know, I really don't know when we will see, you know, a special edition of this, or if we'll see a Blu-ray. I would hope we would, because this is a really good movie that could probably gain a lot more fans if it was given either the special edition or Blu-ray treatment. It would introduce it to a lot of new fans. But definitely pick up Trick or Treat. If you haven't seen it, if you can get a hold of a copy, even if you have to get it off of eBay, definitely pick this up. It's worth watching. Okay, and the next one, or the last one I want to talk about, because I don't want to bore you guys too much, is Black Roses. And Synapse Films put this out, and I hadn't ever seen this movie until, I'd say about 2 years ago. And it sounded intriguing, sounded like something I might like to try. And so I ended up buying it, I believe, from deep discount. And I really found it interesting. It has to do with a rock group that I guess they're really demons, or they become demons, or something to that effect, and they go from town to town and end up possessing the youth of each town. So they go into these small towns and they play for about a week until they have corrupted the youth to where they turn on their parents and pretty much end up killing them. And I think this plays on a lot of fears that parents had at that time about rock music and what the rock music really meant, and some parents were concerned that all rock music was satanic, and that their children were going to get into all kinds of weird rituals and get into drugs and things of that nature. But if the truth be told, you know, I'm sure there are groups out there that are a little harder edged and a lot heavier than what I'm used to listening to. But the heavy metal that I've listened to, other than it being loud and driving your parents crazy, or driving any older people crazy, I really don't see any harm in it. I like the majority of it, and like I said, it's a shame that I missed out on so much of it when it originally came out, because I just, for some reason, just wasn't interested. And I'm glad that the friends I have now had opened my eyes to that type of music. But anyway, that's the basic story to Black Roses. The music's really good in it. I think the characters are pretty strong in it. I don't remember really any weak characters in the film. The special effects were okay for the most part. I was a little disappointed in the demon makeup. I thought it could have been a little bit better, but for that time period, I thought it was very good. This is also the director of the film Rock and Roll Nightmare, which I haven't seen, but I would like to, because I like this one so well. Of note, Vincent Pastore, who was in The Sopranos, he's in this film. Karma and a Peace. I might not be pronouncing his name right. I'm sorry for all you metalheads that know how to pronounce all these names. I do apologize. He was in the group Vanilla Fudge. And there is also a heavy metal soundtrack that features original music from Lizzie Borden. So there's, you know, if you're into heavy metal, there's a lot to enjoy with this. And again, this is a special edition. It has audio commentary with director John Fasano, writer Cindy Sorrell, and also film star Carla Ferrigno, who is married to Lou Ferrigno. I heard he was charging quite a bit at Wonderfest, Lou Ferrigno was. So that's just a little side note. But it also has rare trailers and audition tape excerpts. And again, a really, really good film. Definitely try to pick this one up if you can, if you haven't seen it. Both of these films, again, Trick or Treat and Black Roses, are very, very good introductions to heavy metal related rock or heavy metal related horror films. So definitely get those. There are others that you can get. Notice I did not talk about Terror on Tour this time. Aren't you glad, guys, I didn't talk about it? Because I've already done a horror film debate with that one, and I didn't want to recover it, although I do enjoy that film. There's another one I have called Rocktober Blood. That is another good one to watch. The aforementioned Rock and Roll Nightmare. If you're into punk music, New Year's Evil has quite a bit of that in it. And there's probably, well, even the Demons movies that were made, they have a lot of rock music and heavy metal in them as well. But these were just two of my favorites that I picked to talk about this time around. And I hope that you guys didn't get too bored with this. And again, I do want to dedicate this video to the memory of Ronnie James Dio. And I hope to be back with something new soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Song.